Have you been waiting for a message, a call, a confession? Anything to confirm that he's finally coming back? Deep down, do you sense something stirring, yet doubt whether it's real or just your longing speaking? Many divine feminines stand at this exact crossroads, feeling the energetic shift of their masculine, but not understanding what it truly means. If you are still holding on to an old story, an old version of him, or simply waiting for a fantasy to materialize, you could unknowingly miss the real miracle that is trying to unfold right before your eyes. In today's video, we will dive deep into the powerful truth few ever talk about. The divine masculine is not chasing, not hiding, he's preparing. We'll help you recognize the deeper signs of his transformation, not in words or surface actions, but in the way his energy feels to your soul. You will learn why union is not just about romantic love, but about frequency, maturity, and shared responsibility. Most importantly, we'll guide you to see whether you are truly ready to meet him where he is rising, or if you're still clinging to the version of him who had to walk away. By the end of this video, you will no longer be trapped in waiting, wishing, or guessing. Instead, you will stand in clarity, power, and readiness. You will understand the true energy of a masculine who returns not to fill a void, but because his soul has remembered you. And you will be challenged, lovingly but firmly, to rise into your own readiness too, so you can receive the king who is coming, not the boy who once left. If you stay with us through this powerful message, you'll shift from longing to alignment, from hoping to knowing. Are you ready to rise with him? Or will you miss the miracle meant for you? Number 1. What happens when he's finally ready? Perhaps you once imagined his return as a sweeping, cinematic moment, dramatic, emotional, passionate, and overwhelming. Maybe you pictured him standing at your door, tears streaming down his face, delivering all the words your heart had ached to hear. It's natural to dream of a reunion wrapped in raw emotion, a grand scene that would heal every wound at once. But what if it doesn't unfold that way at all? What if his return is far quieter, far deeper, and even more powerful than anything you ever envisioned? When the divine masculine is truly ready, he doesn't arrive with fireworks, extravagant confessions, or emotional chaos. Instead, he comes with something infinitely more valuable: clarity. He carries a quiet stillness, a calm presence that speaks louder than any apology or desperate declaration. His energy now says, "I have faced myself, and now I am ready to face you." His return isn't about making noise, it's about embodying alignment. It's a silent testimony that he's no longer running from his emotions, no longer building walls out of logic, no longer numbing his heart with endless distractions. He has allowed himself to walk through the fires of his own transformation, and more importantly, he stayed, he endured, he surrendered, and in doing so, he burned away the illusions that once held him captive. But here's the part that changes everything. The plot twist no one warns you about. You're not the same woman he left behind. While he was fighting his internal battles, you were on your own sacred journey. You learned how to stop chasing empty promises, how to anchor yourself in your own frequency, and how to love so fully that you no longer lose yourself in the process. You became whole without needing his return to complete you. And now, when your paths cross again, it is not out of desperation, longing, or unfinished business. It is out of devotion to yourself, to your journey, and to a love that is no longer born from lack, but from abundance. His readiness mirrors yours, and together you stand not as two halves seeking completion, but as two souls who have remembered their wholeness. Before we move forward, take a moment to reflect. How has your own journey of growth and self-mastery mirrored this quiet transformation? Have you noticed how your energy has shifted, preparing you for a connection built not on need, but on devotion? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Your story matters. Feel free to share your experience in the comments below, or simply affirm your journey by typing, "I'm aligned with love and devotion." Your words might just inspire someone else walking this sacred path beside you. Number 2, feeling the shift before seeing it. Before the physical world shows you any signs, you will feel the shift within your soul. It begins quietly, almost imperceptibly, like a soft tremor moving through the fabric of your reality. You will sense it first in his energy, a deep, unspoken change vibrating between you and him. It will echo in his silence, not as avoidance, but as a steady presence growing stronger with every breath he takes. You'll notice the universe itself responding, aligning coincidences, opening unseen pathways, whispering confirmations through dreams, songs, and subtle signs. This shift will not be about validation. It will not come with dramatic gestures or desperate pleas to be seen. It will not be about him trying to prove his love or earn forgiveness. Instead, it will be about something far more sacred, a remembering. A remembering not of the pain, not of the past mistakes, not of the heartbreaks that once clouded your connection, but of the promise you made to each other before you even met in this lifetime. A remembering of your soul contract, your shared mission, and the unconditional love that has quietly endured beneath every storm. The real question is, will you recognize him when he returns? Will you see the man he has become? The man who, through every trial and awakening, has finally chosen his own heart, and in doing so, chosen you. He will not be the boy who once walked away out of fear or confusion. He will return not seeking completion, but offering wholeness, not dragging the past behind him, but standing firmly in the now, ready for the future you once dreamed together. The shift is already happening. Trust what you feel, even before you see it with your eyes. Because sometimes the soul knows long before the world catches up. Number 3. The inner shift he must face. Before he can truly return to you, not just in body, but in spirit, he must undergo a profound internal transformation. This is not a surface-level change, not a simple adjustment of behavior or a fleeting moment of clarity. It is a soul-deep dismantling, a complete breaking apart of everything he once thought he knew about love, identity, safety, and control. Every structure he built to protect himself, every belief he clung to in order to feel secure, is being stripped away. He is not merely changing, he is unlearning lifetimes of conditioning. You may have spent nights wondering if he was avoiding you, if he was ghosting you, if he was simply running from the powerful connection you shared. And on the surface, it might have looked that way. But behind the scenes, beyond what your eyes could see, he was unraveling, quietly, painfully, silently. In the solitude of his own darkness, he has been confronting parts of himself he spent a lifetime trying to bury. He is being asked to meet the version of himself he has avoided for as long as he can remember, the raw, unguarded self beneath the masks of strength, indifference, or control. This means facing the tidal wave of suppressed emotions he locked away for survival. It means confronting the shame he carries around vulnerability, the deep-rooted fear that to open his heart is to expose himself to destruction. It means dismantling the core belief instilled in him by a world that told him that love makes him weak, that tenderness is a liability, and that to be worthy, he must be untouchable. This inner shift is not glamorous. It's messy. It's humbling. It's a spiritual breaking and rebuilding where the ego falls so that the soul can rise. Only through this deep reckoning can he return to you, not as the wounded boy clinging to defenses, but as the awakened man who chooses love, who chooses truth, who chooses you with his entire being. So if it feels like silence, distance, or endings, know this: it is not the end. It is the painful, necessary labor of transformation. The reunion you long for begins here, in the sacred, invisible work he must do within himself. Number 4. The messy but sacred transformation. The shift he is undergoing is not neat or orderly. It is messy, chaotic, and often painful. It is a complete upheaval of the life he once built around illusions of safety and control. Relationships he once clung to are falling apart. Career paths that once gave him pride now feel hollow and meaningless. The very structures that once defined his identity, success, status, pleasure, distractions, no longer satisfy or soothe him. Old numbing mechanisms like chasing ambition, fleeting physical connections, or escaping through substances begin to fail him. They crumble beneath the weight of a soul that can no longer live a lie. In this raw and uncomfortable space, only one thing remains: truth. And in the depth of that silence, when everything he thought he needed is stripped away, he hears something powerful. He hears your voice, not in a desperate or longing way, but in the sacred memory of the soul. He remembers you, not just as the woman he once loved, but as the soul he has been tied to across lifetimes. In the stillness of his collapse, he recognizes the divine imprint you left on his heart, the purpose that has been calling him home all along. This sacred collapse is not a punishment. It is necessary. It is the fire that burns away the false identities, the masks of the wounded protector, the boy who needed to prove his worth, the man who thought presence was weakness. Only through this dismantling can the real masculine be born. Only through the ashes of what he thought he was can the awakened man emerge. The man who no longer runs from vulnerability, but chooses to hold space with strength, who no longer hides behind walls, but stands fully present, who no longer acts out of fear, but rises in truth. This transformation is not for the faint of heart. It demands everything from him, and because of that, when he does return, he does not return as the man you once knew. He returns as the man he was always meant to become, whole, awakened, and ready to walk the path of truth, not just beside you, but with you. If you've made it this far, it's a sign that your soul resonates with this journey on a deep level. Take a moment to breathe and reflect. Where have you witnessed this sacred transformation, either within yourself or someone you love? Your story, your voice, matters here. I invite you to share your experience in the comments, or simply affirm your energy by typing, "I trust the unfolding of the soul." Let's honor the beauty, the mess, and the miracle of becoming who we are truly meant to be, together. Number 5. Rewiring his emotional system. Healing for the divine masculine is not about being fixed or patched up as if something is broken. It's much deeper and far more profound than that. His healing is about feeling, allowing himself to truly experience the emotions he once suppressed, denied, or feared. As he moves through this inner transformation, he is not simply making surface-level changes. He is undergoing a complete rewiring of his emotional and spiritual system, shifting the very foundation of how he connects with himself, with love, and with life itself. Vulnerability, once perceived as weakness or danger, now begins to reveal its true essence: courage. He learns that opening his heart doesn't diminish him, it strengthens him. He realizes that surrender is not about defeat. It is about stepping into authentic power, the kind that does not seek to control, but seeks to understand, connect, and trust. In this awakening, a new and sacred desire is born within him. It is not the desire to be saved, fixed, or rescued. It is the powerful yearning to rise, to meet you, the divine feminine, as an equal, not from a place of woundedness, not from a place of emotional imbalance, but from a grounded, awakened, and mature soul ready to co-create a union built on mutual respect, love, and shared strength. His journey is not just about returning to you, it's about returning to himself first, so that he can meet you with the full power of his healed, awakened heart. Number 6. Energetic union. Calm over fireworks. True twin flame union is often misunderstood. It isn't about grand gestures, cinematic reunions, or sweeping fairy tale moments. It doesn't erupt with fireworks or overwhelming declarations. Instead, it unfolds quietly, deeply, and powerfully, starting not with the physical, but with the energetic. In truth, real union begins in the soul long before it manifests into romance. When energetic union occurs, what you feel is not a sudden rush of adrenaline, but a profound sense of calm, a grounding presence that settles deep within you. There is no urgency to grasp, no pressure to seek validation. Your nervous system, which once may have been anxious and on edge, now relaxes effortlessly, even in the absence of constant communication, texts, or spoken reassurances. You simply trust. You trust the connection because it feels undeniably real, requiring no external proof to sustain it. It becomes a silent, living certainty within you. Even if physical closeness is limited in the beginning, the energy between you speaks louder than any words. You feel energetically chosen, mirrored, acknowledged, and deeply seen. It is this invisible yet palpable thread that binds you in a way that transcends distance or circumstance. This is also why so many people overlook the true moment of union. They expect it to be loud, dramatic, and unmistakable. But genuine twin flame union often happens in silence, in a vivid dream, during a quiet meditation, or in a sudden, unexplainable wave of peace washing over you. It's not about spectacle, it's about alignment. It's about recognizing that real union is not something you chase. It's something you feel, something you become. Number 7. Why the feminine must stay rooted. When the divine masculine begins to move closer toward union, the energy between you can become unpredictable, even chaotic. Old wounds, hidden fears, and buried insecurities tend to surface, not only for him, but for both of you. This is not a sign of failure or regression. It is a natural and necessary part of the soul's preparation for sacred union. However, during this sensitive and volatile time, the feminine holds a sacred and crucial role: to stay rooted. Staying rooted means anchoring yourself deeply in your own truth, your own inner stability, regardless of what storms may arise. It means not collapsing into fear when he becomes uncertain or distant. It means not allowing his temporary confusion to spiral you into doubt, anxiety, or old narratives of abandonment. Being rooted is about holding your energetic center with calm, grace, and unwavering faith, even when everything around you feels uncertain. In this dynamic, you become the lighthouse, the steady, unshakable beacon of light that shines through the fog of his fears. You do not chase, you do not plead, you do not mirror his panic back to him. Instead, you embody presence, patience, and unconditional love, standing firm in your own knowing. Reacting out of fear or insecurity only amplifies his fears and deepens the cycle of uncertainty. But when you remain rooted, you offer him the stability he needs to navigate his inner chaos. Your steadiness becomes an invitation, a silent reassurance that it is safe for him to face his fears and step fully into love, not from a place of pressure, but from a place of truth. In staying rooted, you are not only supporting his journey, you are honoring your own sacred power. You become a living example of unconditional love in action, and through your steady heart, you help birth the very union your souls have always known was destined to be. Imagine a mighty lighthouse standing on a rocky shore as a powerful storm rolls in. The waves crash violently against the rocks, and the winds howl with relentless force. Ships at sea, caught in the chaos, struggle to find their way. Some lose their course, some panic, and some nearly give up hope. Yet through the darkness and turbulence, the lighthouse remains, unmoved, unwavering, and radiant. It doesn't chase after the ships or shout over the storm. It doesn't dim its light just because the night grows wild. It simply stands in its own strength, shining consistently, offering guidance without demand. In the same way, when the masculine moves through his internal storms of fear, confusion, or resistance, the feminine's task is to stay like that lighthouse, steady, rooted, and clear. She doesn't get pulled into his chaos. She doesn't abandon her own light to fix or follow. Instead, by standing firm in love, trust, and inner alignment, she becomes the very presence that helps guide him safely through his darkness, without ever losing herself. True union is born not by reacting to the storm, but by trusting the power of your own light to lead the way. Number 8. Understanding his internal battle. Within the heart of the masculine lies an invisible battlefield, one that few ever truly see, but one that profoundly shapes his every action, hesitation, and silence. This is not a simple struggle. It is a deeply layered war between his longing for connection and his fear of vulnerability. Beneath his composed exterior, he grapples with powerful fears: the fear of losing his independence, the fear of not being enough, the fear of being hurt again, and perhaps most of all, the fear of losing control over his life and emotions. These fears are not a reflection of a lack of love or care. In fact, they often arise because he feels everything so intensely. The sheer magnitude of his emotions can overwhelm him, causing him to pull away, go silent, or retreat into himself. It may seem from the outside like he's indifferent or disconnected, but the truth is quite the opposite. His withdrawal is not from a lack of feeling, it's from feeling too much, too deeply, too uncontrollably. When you understand this internal battle, your role shifts. You realize that he doesn't need to be rescued, persuaded, or fixed. He needs space, a sacred, compassionate space where he can find the courage to meet himself in the places he once avoided. Your greatest gift to him is not to intervene, but to witness his process with unwavering love, patience, and trust. By standing in your own grounded energy, by believing in the goodness of his heart, even when he doubts himself, you offer him a lighthouse in the storm. You become the reminder that true love is not about force or urgency. It is about presence. It is about holding space for transformation to unfold naturally, without pressure, expectation, or fear. Understanding his inner battle transforms how you love, not by doing more, but by simply being more rooted, more trusting, more compassionate. And through this, both of you find the path toward deeper union, not just with each other, but with your truest selves. Number 9. Receiving without chasing or controlling. Receiving is often misunderstood. It's not passive, weak, or about sitting idly by. True receiving is an active, conscious surrender, the highest expression of magnetic power. It is a state of embodied openness, where your energy speaks louder than your words, and your presence invites rather than demands. When you move into chasing or controlling, even subtly, you shift your energy into a vibration of lack. You signal to the universe, and to him, that something is missing, that you don't yet trust yourself or the connection. In this state, you are no longer magnetizing, you are repelling. But when you receive, you step into your natural state of abundance. You become a living field of invitation where everything aligned with your soul feels safe to approach, to join, and to stay. Receiving looks like staying open-hearted without expectations. It means remaining grounded in your own worth, unattached to how or when things unfold. It's not about scripting the perfect reunion, predicting the timeline, or trying to orchestrate every move. It's about trusting the flow of energy, trusting the silent work happening behind the scenes, and allowing love to meet you naturally. When he arrives, whether through a message, a meeting, or a moment of unexpected synchronicity, you welcome him with grace, not force. You don't need to control the words he says, the gestures he makes, or the speed at which he moves. You simply recognize his presence as a reflection of the magnetic field you have cultivated within yourself. The ultimate truth is this: what is meant for you is already seeking you. You are not being tested, you are being aligned. Trust that your energy, your light, and your wholeness are already enough. Trust that you do not need to strive, chase, or prove. In your surrender, you are at your most powerful, and it is here that love, in its purest form, finds you effortlessly. As you sit with this understanding of true receiving, I invite you to take a moment to reflect. Where in your life are you ready to shift from chasing to allowing? Your energy is powerful beyond measure, and recognizing this changes everything. If this message resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your reflections in the comments below, or simply type, "I trust my energy is enough," to anchor this truth into your reality. And if you're finding value in this journey, don't forget to like this video. It helps more beautiful souls like you find their way here. Number 10. Preparing for sacred union. As you draw closer to the sacred union your soul has long awaited, it is essential to ground yourself in timeless truths that will steady your heart and strengthen your spirit. First, understand that union begins within you. Before two souls can merge harmoniously, you must first align with your own. This journey asks you to love yourself without conditions, to embrace every part of who you are, even the aspects that feel unfinished, unhealed, or unseen. Only through deep self-love can you create a foundation strong enough to welcome another soul into your sacred space. Patience, too, becomes your greatest power. Sacred union is not rushed by human will. It unfolds through divine timing, orchestrated with a wisdom far greater than our understanding. Trust the rhythm of your journey, even when it feels slow or uncertain. Know that each moment of waiting is not a delay, but a preparation, a weaving of unseen blessings. Trust the process, especially when fears and doubts arise, both in yourself and in him. His hesitation is not a rejection of you, it is part of his sacred awakening. He is being asked, just as you are, to confront his shadows, heal old wounds, and rise into a love that demands authenticity, not perfection. Hold steadfast to the knowledge of your own worth. You are not someone who needs to be chosen to be valuable. You are already deserving of love that honors, cherishes, and uplifts you. Let your energy reflect the truth that you are worthy of the deepest devotion simply because you exist. As he navigates his own vulnerability, hold compassionate space for him. This does not mean fixing, chasing, or proving your worth. It means allowing him to find his way to you, free of judgment and free of pressure. True union flourishes in an environment where both souls feel safe to be fully seen. And remember, sacred union is about more than romance. It is not merely the fulfillment of longing, but the beginning of something greater, a merging of souls destined to create light, to serve a higher mission, and to ripple healing into the world around you. You are never alone on this journey. Divine support surrounds you in every step, guiding you with gentle whispers, unseen miracles, and loving signs. Trust that your steps are watched over, that your prayers are heard, and that the love you are preparing for is just as surely preparing for you. Sacred union is not the final destination. It is the doorway to a greater calling, a shared purpose that will not only transform your lives, but will also inspire and uplift the lives of countless others. As you prepare your heart, your spirit, and your energy, know this: your union is destined to be a light for the world. The deeper you trust, the more you surrender, and the more you stand unwavering in your worth, the stronger your magnetic field becomes. Sacred union is not merely a reunion with another. It is the profound merging of two energies that are destined to create a higher, more awakened way of loving, living, and being. It's the beginning of a journey that ripples far beyond just the two of you. It sends waves of healing, light, and inspiration into the world. As you move forward, remember, every step you take toward yourself, every layer of fear you shed, every time you choose love over doubt, you are already preparing for that sacred meeting. You are not waiting, you are becoming. Now, I invite you to pause and reflect deeply. How are you preparing yourself for sacred union on your journey? What lessons, experiences, or inner shifts have helped you align more closely with your true self? Your words might be the very mirror another soul needs today. Share your reflections in the comments by leaving this powerful affirmation: I am preparing for sacred union by becoming my truest self. If this message resonated with your heart, don't forget to like, share this video with someone who may need it, and subscribe for more insights on your path to divine love. And when you're ready, dive even deeper. There's another video waiting for you right below the screen. Let your journey continue.